cake, ice cream, chips, donuts, cookies. These are all foods that many elementary-age kids consume every single day. These snacks are filled with added and unnecessary sugars that do no favors for their growing bodies. And let's be honest, we all know that a classroom full of 20 kindergarten students hyped up on sugar is a less than ideal situation, to put it nicely. When I first was introduced to this project, my heart said I wanted to help the students make better choices for their health and for their futures. I've been influenced and taught by so many great teachers. I was even raised by two awesome teachers I call Mom and Dad. Although I feel like I know a lot about the career of teaching itself, I never actually researched it. Through my research, I learned about not only the degree you must obtain, but also the praxis exam you must take to receive your license. I learned about some of the day in and day out tasks a teacher must do. I found there is a demand in this field. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics, the overall employment of kindergarten and elementary teachers is projected to grow 7% from 2020 to 2030. When I can begin my career, which would be 2030 at the earliest, chances are that the demand will still be high. I've had the opportunity to volunteer in a kindergarten classroom this year. I know that having a mentor teacher is a great asset to a new teacher. Ms. Smith, the teacher I work with, has done a great job of helping me and teaching me along the way. I first sat down with her, told her my ideas, and she helped me find the standards I could base my lesson around. I dove into lesson planning, first by using technology in several different ways. I began with research and how I actually wanted to teach the project. I knew I wanted to incorporate technology as much as I could, since we've evolved into such a technology-based world. I implemented Google Slides to create a simple presentation with examples of different fruits and vegetables. I found a read-aloud book on YouTube titled I Love to Eat Fruits and Vegetables. This book is about a young rabbit learning that he has to stay out of the candy jar and stick to fruits and vegetables instead because they will help him grow better. Also to prepare, I printed out several images of healthy snack examples so that I could use this as an assessment to check the students' understanding. I knew I wanted to do a hands-on tasting project with the students so they could experience the taste, smell, and texture of each fruit and vegetable. I found many different options, but I chose to use spinach, celery, oranges, sweet green bell peppers, and cherry tomatoes. I needed to prepare each student's treat the night before. I washed and cut and packaged each one into individual single-serve bags. I put them into the fridge until my lesson the next day. I ended by planning by getting a good night's rest to be ready to teach. On the day of the lesson, I was nervous, but kept myself as cool and collected as possible. I began by asking students what they knew about fruits and vegetables. I explained to them the difference between the two. I presented the Google Slides and asked my students which is a fruit and which is a vegetable based on what we discussed before the slideshow. I then played the YouTube video book to reinforce what we had already learned. While they watched the video, I began to pass out the snacks. Once the story was over, we talked about what they learned in the story. We looked back when the rabbit ate desserts and shrunk. Later, when he ate fruits and vegetables, he grew back to his normal, strong size. This was to reinforce how important eating fruits and vegetables are to our health. The students went back to their desks, and I had them explain to me the smells of each snack as we ate them together one at a time. We talked about what they were and what category they fit into. The students hadn't branched out to try many of the treats I had brought, so I was able to open them up to try new foods. Many of them automatically said they didn't like them before they even tried them, but their minds did end up changing. Once the students were finished with their fruits and vegetables, we went back to the rug for their assessment, which was presented to them as a game. I would describe a fruit or vegetable and see if they could identify what it was. I also showed them pictures to make the connection. At the end of their assessment, we reviewed all that we had learned about the senses and the importance of eating fruits and vegetables. My lesson was then concluded at this point. I did my lesson in all 4 kindergarten classes to gain the full experience and be able to grow and change as a guest teacher with the help of the mentors that had more experience than I did. In my first class, I was nervous and struggled. The teacher in my first class was very supportive and gave feedback to help me. By the last class, I felt progressively more comfortable and more professional. I made improvements to my lesson throughout the classes by having the students discuss one-on-one to each other. I used magnets to stick the pictures of the fruits and vegetables to the board, and I was more confident. This project gave me a different perspective being in different kindergarten classes. I never pictured myself as a kindergarten teacher, but this may have given me a change of heart for the future. It was most definitely a challenge, but one that I'm glad I took on. I am grateful to have had this opportunity as an active FCCLA member to gain new experiences. I use my involvement in FCCLA as an opportunity to expand the kindergarten students' knowledge of fruits and vegetables, to encourage them to make healthier choices to fuel their growing bodies. In FCCLA and in Family and Consumer Science class, we discussed the importance of eating a balanced plate. In our studies, we learned that each meal should consist of half fruits and vegetables, which gives us all kinds of nutrients that our bodies need. We need carbohydrates that contain sugar, but not the same type of sugar that's in cakes and cookies. We also look at different careers in teen living class. We have taken skill and interest inventories and researched different careers we may like. My school also uses a program called Naviance. It is a career readiness program that suggested I consider a job in the field of education and training. I wanted to learn for myself whether or not this is a career path I could see for myself. I knew it would be worth a shot since many adults in my life believe it would be an excellent career path. When I was in the classrooms teaching, it was hard to describe the feeling I got whenever I was able to help someone. It didn't matter how young or small they were. It mattered that I was able to contribute to shaping young minds and opening their horizons to new things. Being a teacher comes with great responsibility and a rewarding feeling whenever you're able to help someone. They say that teaching is a work of art. I believe this statement is true. I understand this statement even more after being a teacher for my 4 classes. It takes more than just a degree and passing an exam to say that you're a teacher. It takes heart. I hope I help the students grow their minds about health because I know they helped grow my heart.